So it's a Saturday morning, and I'm driving off to go get some coffee before I've got to take a little 3-year-old to pictures at soccer practice. And I'm thinking about what's coming up tomorrow. I'm headed out to Vegas for Juniper NXTWORK, and I'm going to be out there for the week with the Tech Field Day crew. And I'm trying to think about the conversation I'm going to have with these guys, with this company. You know, I know since their acquisition of Mist, there's been a lot of really neat stuff happening. You know, it hasn't fully made its way into the switches yet to do some of the AI and ML on the switches. I've gotten a sneak peek of that at their road shows. I just did one of their little boot camp road shows for Mist that they've been, pulling around the country. And that's actually a phenomenal thing if you get a chance to go and you're trying to learn a little bit more about Mist. That's a great way to do that. They've put together a 2-day course that gets you your Mist Wi-Fi and BLE certification. It's really cool. But I think what I'm interested in is how these two companies are coming together and what the outcome of that is going to be and how that's going to solve problems for business, right? Because it's one thing to talk about AI and how cool it is and all the neat stuff it can learn on Wi-Fi, and it can make your Wi-Fi connections better by, decreasing your client connection problems and whatnot. It's another thing to layer that onto switches, right? And pull in the switch fabric and say, okay, well, here's not only what's happening on the Wi-Fi, but here's what's happening on the wired network, and here's how the two correlate, and here's how the two can help or hurt each other. But what's the overall goal, man? I mean, okay, it's cool, but it's going to decrease troubleshooting time, mean time to resolution, all those other buzzwords. Like, what's the jam? Why are they trying to do this? What's the huge outcome that they're going for? Is it a self-healing, self-optimizing network? Is that the whole reason that we're doing this, is so that networks can just magically run themselves and we don't have to administrate them as much as we needed to? Or is it because it's going to enable new features? And if so, what are those features going to be? Those are the questions I'm going to be looking for answers to at NXTWORK. Why are they doing this? What's the big picture idea? And more importantly, how does that relate to me? To be selfish, not for me, but for you, anyone who is on the Twitterverse as well. How does this actually relate to something that you're going to use on a day-to-day business, use case? It's great to talk about all these fancy things, but it's also to dream about driving Ferraris and awesome 80s sports cars, unless you're George and you have them. Kudos to you for making your dreams come true. But seriously, I mean, it's one thing to talk about all this great technology, but it's another thing to figure out how to actually use it and put it into an office and have that run pervasively throughout your office, not just on Wi-Fi, not just on the switches, but also on the routing platforms. What's the big outcome? Anyway, so I'm going to be looking for answers to those questions this week at Juniper NXTWORK. I'll be in Vegas with Tech Field Day. We'll be out there Sunday through Wednesday or Thursday. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be happy to ask. So anyway, enjoy your Saturday. Bye.